Hi, boys and girls. This is your online reading instruction for Thursday, November 5th. We have two targets today. I can read and spell words with ending blends, and I can put words in ABC order. So we'll be talking about both of these today. Let's go over quickly our vocabulary and our high frequency words to begin with. Try to read them before I read them, okay? Hibernate, depend, tranquil, habitat, tolerate. And here are our high frequency words. We need to know them quickly, right? Of, eat, no. There are no legs on this snake. Under, who. So this is our tricky one. Spelling word as well, okay? Don't forget to be paying attention to your spelling words this week on that pencil paper at the beginning of the week. You received that. Be practicing them. I hope you have been practicing them because we have a test today. Okay? All right. Boys and girls, we are going to go ahead and just, in our green reader today and listed on here, you're going to read this nonfiction story again at the pond. I want you to think about it while you're reading, because reading is thinking, and especially when we're reading nonfiction, when informational text is another word for nonfiction, and oftentimes when we're reading nonfiction, we stop and we think about what we're learning so that it can make sense to us, things in our lives. So make sure you're taking the time. I want you to read through that 2 times, okay, and work for fluency. All right, today we're going to be working on ABC order, and you have this paper. I'm gonna use this here. You have this paper in your packet that you got this week. And I want to remind you how we do ABC order. We're going to look at this set of words first, okay? And they do have ending blends in them. But when I'm looking at ABC order, what I do is I underline the first letter in each word. So I'm going to underline the first letter in each word, because when we're looking at ABC order, we look at the first letter, okay? So here we go, first letter. Then I look at this. I have an L, S, F, and P. Okay? Let me write these down on the board. I have an L, an F, an S, and a P. Okay? So I'm going to look at where these are in the alphabet. Now I've put the alphabet right up here on the board. L. Maybe I'll put a little dot underneath that here. F. S. And P, because the words I have are lend, send, fast, and past. I'm just looking at these 4 first. So let's see which comes first in the alphabet. It looks like the F comes first, doesn't it? So the first word I will write on this page right here is the word that starts with F, fast, and that will go up on the number 1, fast. Let's look and see what comes next in the alphabet. The word that begins with L. So this would be number 1. The word that begins with L would come 2. Let's see which one would come on number 2. Which one starts with L here? Lend. Very good. So I would write lend on number 2. Then I would go and look at each one of those, all right, as we go along. Let's just finish this up, okay? So what would come next? We have P. That would be on number 3. Which word do we have here that starts with P? Past. That would go on number 3. And then our last word in these 4 is S, and that would go on number 4. Okay? So send would come next. And those 4 words would then be in alphabetical order. Then I would go down to the next. Make sure you write them here. I'm not going to write them on this paper because I'm going to scan it for to put on the website. Then I'm going to go to the next set of words. I'm going to underline each first letter in the word. Okay? I'll come back to my alphabet. If you don't have an alphabet at home, you can write the alphabet down. And you're going to do the same thing. We'll look at those words, and the first letters that we're looking at, on these we have an S, W, and an R. And you'll do the same thing with each one. I'll underline these first letters as well, so that you can make sure that you're focusing on those first letters, okay? So that's your alphabetical order paper. that we're going to be working with. Then you have a paper as well that is, you actually have 2 more papers that you will need to be working with. And this is just some of our high frequency words that we need to remember. This is a fun paper. I hope you have fun with this paper. You're going to make sure your name is here. You're going to write inside, this is our word that we need to know, and remember who. You're going to trace it, who, write it, who, and then color in all of the words who that you find. On the back side, we have under. Trace, write it, find it. You have another paper, eat. Okay? Trace it. You're going to write on the inside, trace it, write it, find it. And of. This is tricky because it looks like off, but it's of. Trace inside it, trace over it, write it neatly, and color it. That is cinchy, but I hope fun for you to do. Okay? The last thing that you need to do today is you need to ask a parent to help you and give you the spelling test using the words that we have on that pencil paper. Okay? And if you can't find it, it's on Monday's list. And write it in the best way you can. Try to remember we have ending blends, we have 2 review words, and 2 words that are high frequency words. So your spelling test today. All right. Boys and girls, I hope you're having a good day, a good reading day. Make sure you are finding something that you like to read. I have things that I like to read. Some people like to read books that have to do with nonfiction where they're learning things. Some people like to read stories. Some people like to read both. I like to read both. Okay, I like to find books about things I want to learn more about, but I also like to read books that tell a good story. I also like to read cookbooks, okay, directions on how to do things. So there's a lot of things to be able to read and enjoy. So I'm really proud of you. I hope that you are happy and healthy today, and I will talk to you very soon in math.